What's that, Skippy? Timmy's flying too high on the swing and might be sick. I better get down there. What's that, Rippy? Yeah. This is Rippy. It was also called Big Red, or The Big Red. And it's an Australian movie with an American executive producer which follows the Skippy, the bush kangaroo. Skippy, the bush kangaroo, 1970s feel. And that's got a kind of kitsch feel to it, hasn't it? And like Cocaine Bear, and to certainly a lesser extent, a much lesser extent, an infinitesimally smaller extent, Meth Gator, have those, well, we know about this, and we're winking at the camera the whole time. I mean, actually, Cocaine Bear doesn't do that much. When it does, it's part of the plot, and it's beautifully done, and there are some really good performances in it. And then Meth Gator is very much at the other end of the spectrum. And Rippy is somewhere in the middle. Because what you've got actually here is very little irony. Ryan Coonan, who directed this and partially co-wrote it, has a made-for-TV feel. And everything's really earnest. And what he does is, it's as if he said, I've got the I Spy book of adventure film memes, or tropes rather than memes. And I'm going to tick them all off for you folks. Okay, so, someone who has to overcome adversity and the shadow of her father, tick. Couple who were together and now apart and are going to get back together because of this terrible situation, tick. Loads of people being killed by a big kangaroo, tick, tick. And it's all a bit, it's really heavy-handed, all the stuff about the father. So, you've got a cop. There don't appear to be any other cops. She appears to be the only cop in the area. Now, it's not played with any kind of panache. It's played exactly straight down the line. And she's got her father looking over her shoulder. He's not around anymore, but they keep going to a picture of him. There he was. He used to be a sportsman, and he was a superhero, and he was president of Australia for a while. Not really, but that kind of thing. They keep showing you a picture of him. There's voiceover to tell you how wonderful he was. The film's really about him. Well, it's really about tropes. So you've also got the slightly out there, living by the beat of his own drum, crying wolf, local, interesting person, shall we say, played by Michael Biehn. It's Schmitty, who has certainly watched old episodes of the A-Team and seen Dwight Schultz as Howling Mad Murdoch. He's not chewing the furniture like that, and Michael Biehn is a great actor. Not to say that Dwight Schultz wasn't and isn't, but he is I really like his work, Michael Biehn. He does give us some kind of warmth here. Eventually they believe him, and after they have arrested somebody at a local mine, I might have fallen asleep at this point, but I think they arrest him just because he's the biggest of the miners. Which one of you is the biggest? You, played by Nathan Jones. Of course he's in Mad Max, but he used to be a wrestler, folks. Oh, he did. He had a brief run with the WWF, as it was called in those days. Wasn't fantastic. He does all right in this. He's incarcerated, and then we know it's really not him. So, all he does is look moodily through the bars. There will be a coda at the end. Just when you thought it was over. Hang on. So, they arrest somebody, and of course, arrested incorrectly. You've got the police woman telling the local townsfolk, a local woman and her son, yeah, you can do your run now, it's all finished, yeah, you can go for a run. Cut to him going for a run, and he's dead. Now, what they don't do is, what Ryan Coonan doesn't do is, in this movie, is give us a kind of, well, it could be there in the shadows. There's one bit where they see something in the shadows and the eyes light up, and that's good. And I quite like seeing Rippy in profile with, you know, the big teeth and the salivation, and he does make noise. He does that. I mean, I don't know if kangaroos do that, do they? I don't know. I'm not a naturalist in that respect, nor a naturist. I got thrown out of that club. But the thing is, that that is seen far too early. We could do with seeing rustling in the undergrowth and the hedgerows and the forest and all that, and then very quickly people being killed. Sharp talons and claws. Talons aren't on a kangaroo, Steve. They would be on a bird. Sharp claws, that sort of thing. Because really what you want to do is, unless you've got a fantastic, you know, Andy Serkis with loads of balls on him, doing that kind of, you know, thing where he puts the balls on him and then they put the thing on later. That's that thing. Like for Godzilla? King Kong? That sort of thing. Anyway, Andy Serkis with all the balls, that thing. Unless you've got one of them and it costs a lot of money, then you are going to have to wait for quite some time to show us. Because if it's not up to standard, we really, or maybe what Ryan wants to do is to introduce us to it slowly so we get used to it. Because there's a variety of ways that they present Rippy. CGI, what it looks like person in an outfit, and it does look on some occasions, it looks like a taxidermist has really had a go at this and not done it very well. That kind of, I'm standing stock still with a bit of plastic looking fur. There's a bit of that going on. Plus you get things like, well, that Rippy looks a bit bigger than the truck or the car. That sort of thing. The perspective's wrong and all that kind of thing. A bit of CGI, get a bit of, I think, person in a suit, and it looks like there's a variety of ways he's presented, none of which look fantastic, because he does look like bad taxidermy. And he looks a bit like Pitkins. Remember that if you're in the UK? Remember Hartley Hare? He was frightening. Very much more frightening than Rippy. Rippy doesn't look psychotic. He has, let's get those books out again, folks, drunk some toxic water. Tick. Does Rippy get killed eventually? Get those books out again. Tick. Yes, of course he does. And then there's a coda, which looks to be all around zombies, because you've got that infected water, haven't you? We're not going to have a second one, are we? Rippy 2. This time, the Rippy's a human. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Skippy to the graveyard. Something like that. This is not... It really is obvious. It really is made for TV. It really is basic. There's very few scares. There are no performances. Even Michael Biehn, who's trying really hard, and he exec produced this with others, folks. Even that, and he's got a track record, hasn't he? Even that doesn't save this movie. It's not ironic enough. It's there just to give you, let's tick them all off. We have ticked them all off. What's next? Not a sequel, please. It just doesn't float my boat. Or scare me. And I'm really easily scared. Oh, yeah. Something out the corner of my eye. That scared me. See? I'm really easily scared. And this didn't scare either myself, my lovely wife, or my fantastic friend Alan. Did it, Alan? Because I'm looking at the seat where he usually sits, actually. Yes. So lonely without him. Oh, Alan, come back. He will do. Next weekend. And we'll watch some more movies. Hopefully, a bit better than this. Because this is made for TV dross, I'm afraid. And I wanted some kind of irony. But the straight-faced nature of it means it has to be better acted, written and directed. Aye, that's the rub. I don't think Rippy could save anybody down an abandoned coal mine. And that is the rub as well. I want Skippy back. Ta-ta.